They call him Salmon James, his name, Salmon James. And he's the only one in the game who smells when something's fishy.
Dickin' and pushing.
This American Monster. A Monster of the Week actual play from This American Dice. Last time on This American Monster.
There have been several mysterious deaths at the University of West Central Florida. One student whose suicide was posted online and the school tried to hide, and 2 others connected to him who have died mysteriously. The players seek to find Lauren Walls to figure out more of what happened after they visit the site of a student's death. And yeah, you can look down below to where this where like you saw this kid back up and fall over like end over end, and you see that right down below, if you fell off of this, you would just land smack onto a concrete sidewalk down below.
You know, 3rd floor falls aren't really necessarily guaranteed death. Do we know how he landed? I guess not.
So, well, one of the interesting things, I think, just to kind of kick this into high gear, as you're looking down there, you see a person you see a person staring down at that exact area and looking up at exactly where you're standing. And that person is Detective Sloan Winters. I think when he sees you, he does like a kind of a thing.
Oh, wow.
And I think he just yells, stay there. Just stay there.
I like wave eagerly to him and like nod vigorously.
And he has like another cop come over, and he like points to some stuff down below, and you see that cop kind of just like looking around and just looking for whatever. And he comes back upstairs. Or he comes upstairs, not back upstairs. But yeah, so Sloan Winters gets up there. And again, Detective Sloan Winters looks like a Dennis Duffy kind of character, played by Dean Winters, the actor. And Detective Winters just says, well, I guess I shouldn't have been surprised that you guys would be here. You're missing one of your dream team.
He says, Mr. Walker says, well, our last mission, our last mission, he really gave a lot of himself to help the city out last time around.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Didn't he get shot?
He sure did. And man, it was a doozy.
Well, maybe that'll keep him out of trouble.
I sure hope so.
Yeah. If only you guys were as smart.
I say, no, Mr. Winters. If I recall, we did you guys a bit of a service back there with the animal control situation.
Ooh, and this is a good point on screen to address. How was that handled to the police?
I was going to think of that after I said that. I'm going to need 10 minutes.
10 minutes later.
I think it has to be like, we solved it. Like, you owe us in some way because, like, we made this problem stop happening. So I guess the big animal thing is the best way to go. Be like, oh, you were right. It was a big animal. And Lore Corp's Animal Control Division fixed it.
Mm-hmm. Another possibility could be like just pinning the blame on Roberta Hellinger and saying that like state authorities agreed to send her for like a psychiatric evaluation with the Lore Corporation or something like that.
I feel like
that wouldn't explain certain things, but
that would definitely be a police jurisdiction if it was a person. So that might be tough. Plus, I kind of feel like, conscience-wise, he doesn't want to be like, oh, yeah, Roberta's a bitch.
Makes sense. Detective Sloan Winters comes up the steps, and he's there. He's in a kind of a it's like a charcoal suit that he's wearing. He has his tie kind of like loosened up and the top button kind of undone. I believe it might be May, like mid-May at this point in the game. And so it's getting warmer as spring is beginning to move into summer. And summer in Florida starts so early. So it's pretty warm. And by the time he gets up there, up to the third floor with you guys, he'll just kind of continue his thing of saying, you know, I figured you guys wouldn't be interested in this. There's no critters abounding.
Well, Mr. Blade here thought that there was a very good reason why Lorcor could be a great asset to you. And considering how well things went last time, helping out with that big critter, I think he was right. Tell him, Mr. Blade.
Well, I think this is where we have the opportunity for the audience to learn kind of like how you guys smooth stuff over with the cops.
Oh, yeah. Essentially, we were like, his theory was right. It was a giant animal of some kind. But LoreCorp just happens to have one of the premier animal control divisions in the state. And using the information the police had, we were able to triangulate this giant bobcat / mountain lions / panthers position and take it off his hands.
All right. So, Carl, could you, on that note, go ahead and make what the hell is it called? Dealing with the agency? Deal with the agency. Roll for me. Unfortunately, you don't have the text of that one up there.
Deal with the agency.
I have it at the bottom of my sheet.
Oh, you do?
On a 10, you're good. Your request for gear or personnel is okayed, or your slip-up goes unnoticed.
All right. So, yeah. I think we just get Detective Winters say, like, yeah. So whatever big animal it was, you guys are capturing it and studying it. We got the emails and the pictures and the video.
It was an escaped tiger.
Yeah, but that's the way it'll do it. They'll do it and they'll say like, yeah, like, and he's like, one of these weirdos gonna learn about these animals.
Big cats are not toys. They're not even pets, and they're certainly not children. And tigers are perhaps the strongest and most intelligent predators on land. So you're really lucky that we were around, because your hunch may have been right, but only Lorcor had the tools to make sure that it didn't become a bigger problem.
Well, I'm glad you guys could help us out with Tony the Tiger.
It was actually Harold.
And he pauses for a second and then puts another stick of gum in his mouth. You see that he's like chewing a bunch of gum. And he's like, all right, well, what are you guys doing here?
Well, as I said, Mr. Blade had done an extensive analysis and determined that our resources would once again prove useful to you here. Mr. Blade?
Huh? Oh, yeah.
And I think Sloan Winters is kind of going like, yeah.
I was just telling the detective how you would determine that we were the people for the job on this situation.
Well, we got 2 college hunks here who can positively charm any young girl who's upset about her dead friends dying, who committed suicide. And I think that our youth and our overall just kind of get it done enthusiasm, we don't just work hard, but we work smart.
All right. Well, so it's a combination of a Tinder and a LinkedIn profile that you're giving me here? Listen, I'm sure this is about the kid that fell off the balcony. Otherwise, you guys wouldn't be up in this exact spot. But kid falls off a balcony. What's got your interest? Why are you guys involved?
It's not just a kid fell off a balcony. It's a pattern of of kids in the prime of their life taking their own lives, and all of it very conspicuously, all of it on the internet. I don't know if you see what people are saying about these, but it's definitely attracting a lot of press. And pretty soon you're going to have, you're going to have people talking about this being the suicide capital of all colleges in the country if this keeps up.
And this is straight from the dark internet browser, Internet Explorer web.
Awesome. Could one of you guys make a charm roll to get him to tell you some more about this stuff? Right? Because I think he has some information that he could help you out with. And if you were to get him to help you out, but that might require a roll.
TJ, do you prefer to roll, or should I go for it?
I feel like you've been the one talking.
Yeah, go for it. All right, I got a 5.
Okay, well, with that a 5,
I get another experience.
All right, I think he just says the department appreciated what you guys did with that tiger, but this isn't a wild animal. He'll point down and say, like, that wasn't a suicide. You guys don't know what you're talking about here. Make sure that you're not getting in the way of any actual real investigation, because I appreciate what you did before, but if you're scaring people or talking to the media, that's just gonna make people more nervous, freak out about this stuff more. I think he'll basically kind of a little bit shoo you guys away, and essentially kind of he'll essentially kind of be like why don't you tell you guys to get out of here. And he says, don't bother other people with this kind of stuff. It's just going to freak people out.
Oh, they're going to be freaked out, all right. They're going to be freaked out when they see more of their classmates just setting themselves on fire, leaving no notes.
And after he shoos you guys away, he just takes another stick of gum and puts another stick of gum in his mouth as he's chewing this huge wad of Wrigley's gum.
As we leave, I'll turn around and say, "Hey, that'll kill you."
All right, where to next?
Well, I think it's time for some of the old young person charm.
Mm-hmm. So you guys are just heading to the main campus?
Lead the way, Mr. Greene.
Are you looking for a specific person, or are you just going on campus to hear the scuttlebutt?
I think we're looking for Lauren Wells, right? Or Walls?
Lauren Walls. All right. Yeah, so based on Ashton's role from earlier, I think that after a couple of hours, you guys can just find her. She's maybe coming back from a class, and you see her leave the building. She walks by a group of people, and you noticeably see people look at her and go, ugh, and look back at one another, and she kind of
exasperated or hot.
I think she's an attractive lady, but at the same time, it's more just ugh, this bitch, kind of a look. So, I have not decided on the actor or actress to play.
Now I'm just picturing Britta.
If you want to just say it's Gillian Jacobs, just imagine a Gillian Jacobs type character. Lauren Walls kind of comes out of class, and she's going to just walk right by you, so you guys can just kind of intercept her if you want, unless you want to follow her to a place to kind of more privately, or in a aside from just Sorkin-esque Law and Order kind of talk to her out on the quad.
Yeah, I think Ashton, maybe as this is happening, as she's kind of walking toward us, he kind of whispers toward Mr. Welker, oh, wait, hey, Mr. Welker, what's the actual plan here? Are we going to just kind of interview her or follow her to see what were we doing?
Well, Mr. Greene, we're here to make sure that Lorcor can make sure that this city is as safe as it could possibly be. And how we do that is entirely up to us. And you as the newest representative of Lorecore in this area, you get to call the shots.
So, and eyes get big, and he kind of adjusts his poorly tied tie. It's like, oh, okay.
I'm right behind you, buddy. I mean, coworker.
All right, so you guys just head up to this this lady, just out there on the quad, or like out in front of this classroom building.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Is she alone?
Sure, I think so. And she like kind of like stops, like and sits down and like checks her phone and like looks at stuff on her phone for a little bit. So yeah, so you guys can just definitely just approach this woman.
Yeah. So I'll Ashton will kind of clear his like, hey, Lord.
She kind of looks up at you and says like, "Oh, hi. Oh, hey." I think she maybe kind of vaguely remembers you. She has that look of like, "Oh, kind of know who you are. You seem kind of familiar."
Yeah, if you remember, in freshman year, we were in Algebra 1 and Chemistry and World Religions and American History. I sat behind you in all those.
I remember you. I don't think we were in all those classes together, but yeah. What's your name again? I'm sorry. I'm totally blank, and it's been a really rough. It's been a really rough. She like looks down at her phone again, and is like bothered, and then she's like, "I'm sorry. What was your name again?"
Oh yeah, no. My name's Ashton, and actually, yeah, I'd heard about how bad it was for you recently. I was like, oh, I remember her from algebra and chemistry and world religions and history. So I am now, I don't know if you know this, working with this company. And well, okay, so I've heard that.
And I think she interrupts you and just says like I've been having a really rough week. If you're part of like a club, or if you're recruiting people for something, I can't do anything right now. So I appreciate it, Ashton.
Oh no, it's actually we're maybe trying to help you. It looks like that someone might be hacking your social media accounts, and like we are actually really good with and he looks right at Darkblade, like internet security and stuff, and we can kind of get to the bottom of that pretty easily. I thought maybe it's, especially with this case, it seems really disturbing, and I think we would offer this service for free if you want it. Just especially because I knew you from before those 4 classes.
Go ahead and
Yes,
roll.
my lady.
Go ahead and roll.
Yeah,
go ahead and roll a manipulate roll for me. So charm roll.
Sure. 9. So close.
9. Darkblade, or Mr. Welker, do you want to maybe help Ashton out?
Absolutely. I will lend my looming fatherly presence by walking up behind him, putting a hand on his shoulder, saying, he may look young, but this guy knows his stuff. Let me tell you." There's like a picture of my family in my back pocket, like ready to go, like on his previous advice.
Okay.
I got a 14.
You got a 4. Okay, awesome. So that kicks that up to a 10. And she's like, I think she just says, she's like, "Nobody believes me that I'm not posting this stuff. I'm not the one putting it on there, and I can't take it down."
Yeah, it seems very unlikely that you'd be doing that. That's why I thought it must be some kind of hacker. I think if you let us look into it, we can get to the bottom of it.
She's like, "Look into it. I mean, look." And she brings up her social media on her phone. She goes to her page where you see like even more people are like, "How could you possibly do this? This is terrible." And the thing that you see that like makes her go is there's a new post, and it is a post of, it's from like the outside of a convenience store or something like that, and it's Olive getting like kind of like running into the road kind of like manically, and just getting hit by a car. I didn't put this up here. I didn't post this. And she goes, look, and she hits delete. She's like, delete post. And it just says like an error has occurred, unable to delete post.
Mr. Blade, do you recognize this error?
Do I recognize it, Austin?
I mean, that kind of thing might happen, but usually it provides a number. This just says an error has occurred, unable to delete post.
Oh.
And she'll say, I can't do it with the other ones either. And she'll show you like delete post. And it just won't. It doesn't have it has the same thing. An error has occurred, unable to delete post.
If there's ever any doubt that Zuckerberg was a technocratic lizard person, let he look upon this. All right, milady. I wonder, have you tried deactivating your account and just starting your account?
Computer?
Yeah.
Have you tried turning it off and turning it on again? Yeah,
If you tried deleting your account and just adding and making a new account and adding your friends again. I mean, you certainly don't want this posted
like,
here.
She kind of like says, I haven't tried that. That's what my friend Bella suggested with this, but I don't know.
Well,
and I think she'll say something like I have so many pictures and so many memories connected to this. It would be a shame. It would be a shame to lose all of that. But this is crazy. This is like harassment.
What was the name of the guy? Sorry, go ahead.
She'll say, I talked to the campus police about this and campus administration, and I tried to show them that this was going on and explain to them that I didn't post this stuff. And they said that they're looking into this, as now they're looking into me and I might get kicked out of school. And meanwhile, I'm being subject to all this harassment.
Ma'am, we don't want any of that for you, and we want to help. What was the name of the guy who killed himself?
Alan Graves.
Ma'am, what was your relationship with Alan Graves?
She goes, I barely had any relationship with him. Yeah. I was in a class with him, and I think it was a psych class. No, not she thinks it was a psych class. I was in a psych class with him, with Dr. So-and-so, and I had managed to look over his shoulder at some point. I noticed his artwork, and I noticed that he always sat all by himself all the time. And I'd even seen him in the dining hall, always on his own. And I looked him up on social media and I saw his artwork and I thought his artwork was cool. And then I noticed he had 0 friends, which is almost impossible. I can't think of that. I am fairly sure that the company pushes you to get more friends. So having 0 is almost impossible. So I tried to talk to him, but he ended up just being a weirdo. And
in what way?
And she's kind of like cagey about it. And I think after that charm roll that you got, you can kind of tell that she feels bad about this. And she says, like I wanted to reach out to him because he seemed like a talented artist. And I felt bad because he was by himself all the time, but then he got really, really clingy. He wouldn't leave me alone. He was constantly sending me messages. And I think she scrolls back up she goes into like her private messages and scrolls back up and just shows like constant messages from this guy from like past 2 weeks ago. Just like, what are you doing? Oh, are you okay? You haven't responded. Like the kind of things of like messaging her every couple of minutes. And she said, it was my friends told me like to just ignore him. And then later on, when he kept bothering me, they told me to distance myself from this guy as much as possible. And I was a little bit worried about it. And then there was an incident that happened in the dining hall where he got real he got real clingy, and he wanted to know why I hadn't invited him to a party. He was so upset, and I don't know if he grabbed my hand or something I was holding, or if something I was holding got stuck to his sweater, but he ended up getting really, really embarrassed when it yanked part of his sweater off. And everybody saw the weird, I feel so bad saying that now, but he had these things all over the back of his head and the back of his neck. They looked like boils. My boyfriend said pustules. But
have you seen, and I know there's these rumors that this poor boy like put a video up of himself, when he did the deed. I know that young people today are thirsty for any kind of knowledge. Did you see it?
I first heard about what happened to Alan in that psych class. Our professor came in and announced this, and he told us that the class would be canceled to let us process that. And he told us about, resources at the school for therapy, and told us that if anyone was found sharing that video, that we would get in trouble. But I hadn't seen it until it ended up on my page.
So you're familiar with what he said?
She said at first I didn't want to watch it, but eventually I did. But yeah.
Ma'am, do you feel like maybe your friends ought to know about this?
She's like, I can't see how my friends don't know about this. It's right there. And she again points to her phone.
It seems like an awfully strange coincidence that you would talk about wanting someone else to feel lonely. You were so close to him, and now your friends are dying.
I was never close with him. That's the craziest thing.
Completely, totally agree. Except that he appears to have thought otherwise. Yes?
Maybe, I don't know. Here, look. And she goes to Alan Graves, and she clicks on him, and then she goes to unfriend, and it says an error has occurred, unable to unfriend.
So, given this set of facts, ma'am, I'm wondering if maybe you and your friends wouldn't like a bit of protection. How would you feel about that?
She said, I've already spoken with the police. They're more concerned that at least the campus police are more concerned that I'm violating whatever this policy is, and they keep drilling us about drugs and asking us about if anybody was on drugs.
It sounds like they're not taking you very seriously. How would you like to be protected by people who do?
People who are professionals.
What's the vape cloud that Darkblade blows out in thick plumes of cotton?
Oh, it comes straight out of his nose like a dragon.
It's guava watermelon.
Watermelon. And so I think, based on the roll from before, she's down. She's okay with that. But I think that's the last thing that we see maybe in this scene. Is that her transition?
Given unlimited resources and opportunity, I would just have her and all of her friends in a LoreCorp safe house.
All right. So, so she does agree to this. I think our transition scene is Darkblade blowing the stuff out of his nose. What's our next scene? Like, what's the next thing you guys are looking into or like hanging out with her?
My suggestion would be, we're in the safe house. They have all signed waivers saying that if anything happens to them, it's not LoreCorp's fault. And in the meantime, they're prepared to stay here until the danger is past.
All right. So she can. So
do we have to convince them, or?
So I think Lauren is convinced that you guys will help her. If you're saying like, hey, you need to totally like, if you guys want to like get her like a hotel room and like hang out with her, the other people might need convincing. And I think there's like additional opportunities for you to talk to those other people as well.
Yeah, I want to look closer at these messages that she is receiving from this guy, and just try to find a pattern.
Awesome. Okay, so is this a roll? This might be our first investigate a mystery roll.
That's what I was thinking, but I'm just looking for my flake powers. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, all right. So go ahead, and that's, I believe, plus sharp. I got to pull that up on the old video.
Ooh, I got a 6 again.
Got a 6 again. Okay, well, how are you attempting to investigate this thing? Are you just like further trying to like dive into the dark web?
Oh, I'm trying to get deep in the dark web.
All right.
Yeah,
Could
deep
one of
in
you,
dark Mozilla.
So
no, I'm just trying to use his just like way of thinking to look for a pattern and his combined like experience of so that's more of what he's doing.
Okay, well, the reason we got to know what exactly you're trying to do is to figure out how maybe one of the other guys could help you out. So you're just trying to use your kind of Rain Man-esque Sherlock-like abilities to piece things together that no one else can see?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. It doesn't seem like anybody could help you then with that unique ability that you have.
It's a shame.
All right, so you got a 6. All right, so you get onto the web and you're kind of like looking at this stuff and you're kind of thinking about all these pieces and you're like Lauren Walls, Taylor Wright, Alan Graves, Olive Alexander. You're saying these names and you're kind of in your head. You're moving the letters in their name around a bunch. Where are you guys? You guys are with Lauren somewhere? Maybe like I said, like got her like a hotel room.
Yeah, well, I mean, in a perfect world, it'd be literally a Lore Corp safe house. But barring that, somewhere private, anonymous, and that we can like watch.
Sure. So maybe one of you guys can like rent a hotel.
Just put him in one of our houses.
That's a possibility.
Be more hilarious.
All right. Whose house is she staying in?
I feel like mine would be the least hilarious, but possibly the easiest.
Well, Ashton has like kind of a, like you said, like a studio apartment, right? Darkblade, we haven't been to Darkblade's house. I would like to explore that.
Yeah, above the basement level.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we can go into my mom's living room.
Okay, so we go to Darkblade's house, and she's like, all right. And Darkblade's mom has like Rice Krispie squares that she's made,
but with peanut butter in them, so they're kind of like, eh.
Sure, yeah. You're like, okay. And you guys are just kind of like sitting on the couch, and you're kind of running over, like talking over all this stuff. And Darkblade is like writing everybody's name down, and he's like trying to use like numerology kind of stuff of like, well, this person, each letter has this much value. And he's trying to figure this stuff out, and it's just like nothing's coming up. And that is when, Lauren's phone rings, and when she answers it, she's like, "Oh my God!" And she is like, "Is she okay?" Well, I'll be down there. I'll be down there soon. And she hangs up. She's like, my friend Bella just got in a car accident.
Is she all right?
She's in a coma.
I'm so sorry, ma'am. That's
This
awful.
Another friend.
She's at Palmetto City General. I've got to go see her.
We'll escort you.
So Darkblade's mom is like, goodbye, Herbert. So you guys head to the Palmetto City General Hospital. It's a pretty big hospital in the area. There are other hospitals nearby, but this is kind of like the main one for most of Palmetto City. And if you were in like a nearby town and had to get like a major operation, the odds are after you were stabilized, they'd send you to this hospital anyway. So She gets there, and after she kind of like gets to whatever, she seems to like know where she's going already. And when she gets there, she encounters like a pretty handsome young man who's maybe in his later 20s, like mid to late 20s. And he sees her and like the two of them hug, and he's wearing like a lab coat kind of a thing. And he's got a stethoscope on, and she's like, is she okay? And he goes, she still hasn't woken up. She's in pretty bad shape. She seems stable, but I don't know. I know you want to see her. I know she's your friend, but at the same time, she's in pretty rough shape. And I think, yeah, she just says like, I have to see her. This guy kind of turns, he like leads her to a room. Inside there's like a young woman who's all black and blue and kind of swollen from like crazy impact in a car accident. She has a bunch of like small cuts all over her. She's hooked up to IV things and like heart monitors and all kinds of stuff. And I think there's like a breathing machine helping her breathe. And Lauren kind of goes in there, and this guy kind of looks at you and just says like, hello, are you the gentlemen that are helping Lauren?
I'll wait for Lauren to answer that.
All right.
Does she?
Oh, I think Lauren like went inside the room.
Oh, well then, yes.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I think this is like an opportunity for you guys to talk to this character.
Oh, okay. And so this guy is one of her friends, or?
And you see on his badge it says George Conti, like resident.
Have we heard this name before?
I don't think you have.
Yes, we're friends.
Mr. Conti, yeah, we I'm sure she's already told you
on Facebook as well as real life too. We're friends.
He looks on his Facebook and suddenly he's already friends with Darkblade69.
Yeah. Oh my god. And I think he like when you're like on Facebook as well as in real life, this guy's like, all right, okay.
And then he goes back in his memories, and Darkblade69 has been there for a very long time.
Yeah, exactly. Every time anything important has ever happened to George Conti, he's looked over and seen Darkblade69 in the corner,
smiling and like applauding.
Yeah. So the haunting. Yeah, but so I think this guy says like, I think this guy will kind of open up to you and say, it's touch and go. This girl seems stable, but stable is, but that's
a word.
The stable is stable can be a temporary condition. In movies, when a person stabilizes, they get better afterwards. That doesn't always happen. Lauren and Bella are really good friends. I'm not going to tell her she can't see her.
How do you know Lauren? Or wait, Bella? Which one have you been talking to?
Like, well, I'm talking about both of them. But one as a patient, and the other as a friend of mine. But I'm friends with both of them.
Okay.
And he'll kind of have that like, I'm friends with both of them, as like you can tell pretty easily he's dating Laura. I'm sorry, he's dating Lauren. Her name is Lauren, not Laura.
The one who
you are theoretically protecting, yeah. And you remember, she tried to use a weird medical term to describe this thing. She probably heard it from her boyfriend, who is doing his residency here.
So are you familiar with a Mr. Alex Graves?
Alan Graves.
Alan Graves.
And he kind of like has the not like exacerbated look, like like that weirdo who was bothering Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, All I know is he's some weird guy who was bugging her. Bella had, and he nods to Bella, who's the one in the coma. Bella had suggested that she ditch that she like get as far away from that guy as possible. And now we heard that stuff that came up, and now Lauren's being harassed by somebody.
We've heard. That's very unfortunate. She certainly doesn't deserve it. I mean, none of you young people deserve this. Should be the best time of your lives. It's awful.
And he kind of has like a thanks, Dad, kind of look to his face.
I'll nod in a very dad manner. And I'll say, listen.
And he has while he's talking to you, he does have like a clipboard that he's doing paperwork on and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And so like you can tell like this guy is technically at work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. So is there anything unusual about this patient?
About Bella?
Mm-hmm.
She got in a car accident. I mean, that's really bad compared to the other people. There's not anything unusual. And he's like looking through this, and he goes, and he like pauses at something that he's looking at on this chart.
I'll like look at him expectantly.
Ooh.
HIPAA? What's HIPAA? More like hip, yeah.
I was playing with so much of her blood, and she's what positive? I'm trying to think if this is a read a bad situation.
I think it's a read a bad situation, personally.
Sounds good. If somebody wants to roll plus sharp, go for it.
Oh, is that sharp?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like perception, like being perceptive.
Well, I've been doing all the talking. I'll just roll it. Boom. 8.
8. All right, so you get one of those questions. Do you have those up?
I do.
What's my best way in? What's my best way out?
Got it.
Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat?
What's the best way to protect the victims?
All right. So I think at Darkblade's house, he persuaded her, like, just delete your account. And he says that's what Bella had suggested doing. That's what Bella said she was going to do. And like when she went to delete her account, same thing. An error message occurred. She can't delete her account.
I have the impression that deleting her account will make her safer.
So I'm trying to say, like, you looked into that. That wasn't an option. The best way to protect the victims is to
don't say solve the mystery.
I'll say something that you're not going to be pleased with, and then I'll give you a piece of information to kind of have it be a palliative.
Vote Republican.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Self-reliance is the important thing. It's the fault of these people. It's their own fault. So, what's the best way to protect the victims? There seems to be something is happening where these people are accidents are befalling these people, these friends of Lauren's. It doesn't seem like a coincidence to you guys, but to everyone else, it does seem like a coincidence just within this circle of friends in regard to what's happening. The best way to do this is try to find some kind of tie that maybe connects these incidents or accidents together, aside from just the fact that these folks are friends. And then if you could figure out what's doing this and stop it, that's probably your best bet. Furthermore, you can tell that if what's going on, when you guys had looked at Lauren's like social media account more and more, like earlier when you were on campus, again, people were saying, like, how could you post this? How could you do this? By the time you were at Darkblades, even more people had kind of piled on, like treating her as a pariah. And you realize, like, Lauren seems to be being ostracized, at least online, and now her friends are disappearing as well, where they're literally dying. So that's kind of some info that you can get, is like, we have to stop whatever is causing this. And a way to do that might be to see what else ties this stuff together. Otherwise, these people are going to continue to be victims.
Do either of you have more questions for the doctor / boyfriend, apart from what cologne he wears?
And I feel this guy is like very handsome.
You know, to get a babe like Brita actress, gotta be.
There you go.
Yeah. Was there anything unusual about this car accident to you, or the injuries?
I can't tell you about the car accident, but I can tell you her injuries are not uncommon in regard to a car accident.
Was there anyone else in the car, or are there any other victims?
No, she actually crashed into a like a pole, basically, like a light post. She crashed into a light post, suffered a lot of head trauma. Explains the concussion, lacerations on the face, on her hands, severe bleeding from a cut on her forearm, broken ribs from the steering wheel and airbag.
Okay,
like he can like
do.
read all this stuff. Yeah, he can read all this stuff off, and he's like, honestly, I shouldn't be sharing this stuff with you guys.
But you think we can help?
And he's like, if you're helping Lauren, I appreciate it, but I think that if you want this guy to further help you out and maybe tell you some other weird stuff, theoretically, as a doctor, he's not supposed to be sharing this woman's information with you.
I just want to lean on the fact that he already has, and it clearly must be for a reason, so he might as well give it all to us.
All right, that could be a manipulate roll.
Yeah, we're not going to tell anyone about your other HIPAA indiscretions.
Yeah, now you have to, or we'll blackmail you.
Mhm.
I got a low number.
How low?
4.
Okay. I think that's where we kind of like end this scene, where Lauren eventually comes out and she's like Bella and I have been friends for years and years. We're almost like sisters. Seeing her like that is terrible.
Seems like it would be.
And one of the things that you do see as you guys are like preparing to leave is who shows up?
Detective
Winters. Detective Sloan Winters shows up, and he's there with a like a hospital security guard, and he's like, well, look who it is. Look who the tiger dragged in. Why am I not surprised to see you guys here?
I'll say, Mr. Winters, I feel like it should at least be clear that we're on the same side. I get some feelings of animosity from you. Is there any particular reason why?
Why are you guys here?
Well, our Mr. Greene here had recently made the acquaintance of a particular student on campus, and we're here to show our support.
And he says, Lauren Walls. She's like, yes. And he like opens up a flip pad, and he says, do you know what's been shared on like your social media account? She goes, I didn't post those videos. And he says, the videos of your friends, Taylor and Olive. She's like, I didn't, that was not me. I didn't post those things. And he says, all right, if that's what you say, that's what I could jot down here. He's like, we're in the process of contacting the company to verify that. And she's like, I swear it wasn't me. He goes, do you know where you could find those videos? She says, I have no idea where you could even get that, how you go about getting the security camera footage or whatever it is. He's like, so you've seen them? She says, yes, I saw them, and I didn't like seeing them. I don't like that somebody's posting this. Honestly, somebody's bothering me, and now 3 of my friends have been hurt. He says, well, I'm going to get Gus here, and he points to the security guard, and he's like, I'm going to get Gus here to hang out with your friend, make sure nothing weird goes on. Till then, refrain from using social media at all. But make sure you're available, to answer questions if need be.
I'll say, Mr. Winters, given what the public, publicly available information about what's been happening lately with the spat of unfortunate deaths and severe injuries, have you noticed any trend between the victims?
He's like, yeah, they're all friends with one another.
It does. Yeah, I agree. So I was just thinking maybe the remaining friends should be placed under some sort of protective detail.
He's like, well, like I said, we got Gus here to look after Miss, and he looks at the pad, White. And I'll send a car by to look into who's the other kid. And she says, Cody. He's like, yeah, Cody. Cody? Is that the name I give this kid? Yes. He goes, yeah, but he's like, until we know what's going on, cops can't save you from accidents. As weird as these are.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you guys to try to get something out of him. I'm not sure how to bring it up, but we could try to do some kind of read a person thing or another read a situation.
Well,
does that make sense?
I thought of a question, maybe.
Go for it.
What you're thinking. But yeah, Ashton might say, yeah, I guess, you've probably obviously, officer or detective, seen that video by now of the Taylor falling out off that thing. Seemed like, I don't know, seemed like he was kind of disturbed or something. Did you notice that? It didn't seem like an accident or something.
It seems like we're about to roll something. What do you think this should be? Because I could see this being another manipulate roll where you're trying to get him to tell you this information. I could kind of see this being a read a bad situation move. I could kind of see it being some kind of, I could maybe see it being investigate a mystery, but the information he would have would be not necessarily the full thing of what you want to know.
Yeah, it seemed like, I don't know if any of the read a bad situation questions work either. Like maybe just charming it.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
7.
7. Okay. Detective Winters will just say, he'll say, this weird stuff. You guys seem to be too interested in these kind of weird stuff. You were able to help us out in that other case, but he's like, I'll tell you this, but you keep me updated on anything you find.
And I think Ashton looks at Mr. Welker and it's like, oh, yeah, I think, of course.
And I think he'll say if I find out that you're jerking me around with this, I'll have your asses in cuffs for what's the term? It's
obstruction of justice.
For a dog's ear.
I'll cuff your balls to your butt. No, he says interfering in an investigation or obstructing an investigation, something like that.
Absolutely. If we are absolutely want to collaborate with you, we want what's best for the city.
And he'll say, As the coroner's report came back, we thought it was drugs. He's like, looking at the way that kid acted, looking at the way the girl acted when she ran into, and I think Lauren like can't handle hearing this, and she goes off with George for a second, so they're like not directly next to you and in this conversation fully. Or they're nearby, so she can tune it out if she wants and hear it either way, but it would make more sense. She says, or Detective Winters just says, like, the coroner's reports came back. They weren't. Like a toxicology report came back. They didn't have anything that would have made him do that. That kind of crazy, jerky movement the kid has, the way the girl's running into the street. He's like, weed in a 0.02 blood alcohol level. Don't make that happen.
I'll say, Mr. Winters, we don't know what's happening here either. We have all the same information you do. I can tell you this, though. The remaining group of friends here that are still alive, including the one we just saw in the hospital, need to be protected 24/7. And if something happens to them, you should know that you knew that they needed to be protected.
He's like, oh, and I think he'll give you this piece of information, and then afterwards he gets pissed off at that comment. He'll tell you that the thing that they discovered on the bodies of Olive and Taylor that was unusual was that they both had like bug bites or bug stings, like several of these on them. And when he mentions that, George says like a bee or a hornet or something, and Winters is like, yeah. And I think George, the doctor who's also Lauren's boyfriend, he will say, Bella had several of those on her neck as well. Now I guess we're all caught up, right?
Agreed. We'll keep you appraised of anything we know. Lorcor wants to make sure that no one else gets hurt.
And he'll say, and he'll just like point to the badge on his belt, and he'll be like, my job is to serve and protect. I don't need you to remind me of that.
Fair enough.
And he goes to like talk to this doctor, and you guys can like leave with Lauren.
My suggestion would be just like, okay, I'll probably forget at some point. My suggestion would be that one of us should go and be with each of the remaining members of this friend group.
Well, the only person left is Cody.
Well, the one in the hospital is not dead yet. There's
true.
Cody, and then there's also Lauren.
That's true.
So 3-on-3.
All right. So just to recap what we know that a little more than 2 weeks ago, Alan Graves killed himself. You saw that video. You heard what Lauren said about him kind of being clingy, and then there being an incident before he had killed himself. 2 weeks after he kills himself or so, the Taylor falls off that balcony. A couple days later, Olive gets hit by a car. Just a day or two later, Bella crashes her car.
Well, I guess we could all go hang out with Cody. I guess that makes sense.
So you also found out about the bug bites, and that it was not drugs that was making them behave this way.
Unless the mosquitoes were on drugs.
That's true. Africanized bees. Get it? Because they're high. A beehive. They're all buzzed. Anyway, so any other questions that you guys have or anything like that before we kind of
where do babies come from?
Well, see, that's the thing is science says there's no way to know. Each baby comes from a different place.
Kind of like a Reese's cup. Like there's no wrong way to get a baby.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought so.
Yeah, I feel once we were alone from these other NPCs, I was going to try to see if Darkblade had any things in the Wikipedia about scary bug mind control or something.
Darkblade, would you want to roll investigate a mystery for me?
Yeah, I got a 6.
You got a 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Could Ashton try to help him out?
Yeah, I can.
Sure. I'll roll plus cool. And got a 7.
Okay, so that kicks the 6 up to a 7. I think a way that you could help him is maybe to make a connection back to someone you'd been alerted to their existence before, Dr. Rosalind Lester.
Grant Cheddar's professor.
What's up?
Grant Cheddar's old professor.
Childers. But yes.
Oh, Childers?
Childers, not Cheddars like the
I wrote it Cheddar's every time.
Well, yeah, I could swear it was Cheddar's.
No, it was Childers. So you had learned that she was like a person who studied anthropology and like myths and folklore and that kind of stuff. And you maybe like kind of cross-reference some of the stuff that she's like looked up. Maybe you guys end up in the UWCF library for a while, kind of like digging into stuff and looking at things on Wikipedia and looking at various like academic articles, including some published by Dr. Lester. And one of the things that you find is that wasps in particular were something often associated with witches, particularly seen as their like sometimes their minions or almost like a curse that these witches would put out on them, and things that often protected them.
Wasps are nature's wasps.
Yeah. And so based on this, what sort of creature are we dealing with? You're dealing with a witch.
This American Monster is a production of This American Dice. This American Monster uses the Monster of the Week system, a game published by Evil Hat Productions and by Michael Sands. Sundry Charms is Lee. Chase Welker is Carl. Darkblade 69 is Alex. Ashton Greene is David. And your Game Master is Austin Smith. Our theme song is by Patrick Ross. It's called Sinlude. Additional music for this episode included Inspiring Corporate by Scott Holmes. And it seems that we can't decide if the guy from the first mystery is named Grant Chetters or Childers. Sometimes it's Chetters, sometimes it's Childers. His name's Grant, and it starts with a CH. It's this dude.
He backs up the steps. It's weird. He's a strange man. Yeah, he beeps. Actually, he moonwalks. It's very odd.
My girlfriend's younger sister is in school, and they had this like photo project. You can see like, so see question number 2 at the bottom.
I can't read what it says, but I see there are questions.
It says earthworms make tunnels by blank and blank through the soil. And she wrote Dickin.
Dickin' and pushing.